So did you guys happen to check out the Xbox 2024 showcase?
Yep.
Yeah.
Fears of War Gaming Podcast.
I did the honors of making sure I watched it while you guys were all still at the expo, even though I forgot it started like a half hour into it, so I had to jump in and start from the beginning. Sir Bigness, what was your overall opinion of the Xbox Showcase 2024?
I feel like 4.5 years in that this console generation or the generation of games has officially started. It feels much delayed. You see the kind of games that you couldn't see on previous consoles. I understand that they still have to kind of backwards compatible program for people who still have the Xbox One series and the PS4 series, but it finally feels like we're getting some games that are capable of what we shelled out as consumers 3, 4, 5 years ago, or three or 4 years ago when these consoles came out. And I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to E-Day. I mean, that's the one game. It's like, okay, I can't live without this one. As far as purchases, as far as must buys, the Bayou game. It's south of
Midnight.
South of Midnight. Thank you. That one is definitely a must buy. The Assassin's Creed series, the fact that they've got Yasuke in it, regardless of what they say, he was an actual person. You cranky people who are complaining that there's a black man in a samurai game, he was an actual person. The first actual person, that actual playable protagonist in an Assassin's Creed game.
Is that what people are upset about? Is that what a lot of people are upset?
Yeah, some people were irritated about that. It's like,
well, because a lot of people don't know history.
Yeah. There you go. He was an actual person. I'm very excited about the Assassin. I haven't been this excited about an Assassin's Creed game in a long time. And it's not just because of Yasuke. I'm excited because it looks like the old school Assassin's Creed games. Mirage was garbage. Nothing personal. It was not a good game. The previous 3, Odyssey, Origins, and Valhalla, those were slogs. I mean, those were just eternal games. You played those things for like 3 or 4 years, and I finally beat them just so I could say I beat it because I was tired of playing it. But this actually feels like an Assassin's Creed game. I'm excited for it. And it kind of feels good to get Assassin's Creed back on track.
Weren't you a little hesitant about the new Assassin's Creed a couple months ago, though?
Mirage
the new one getting ready to come out. You sound like I thought we talked about it. You seemed a little hesitant about it at first.
Well, I mean, it is not necessarily art in this case as it is artist. It was just Ubisoft is just. It seems like they're trying to commit seppuku or something. They're trying to kill themselves because whoever their CEO is or the chief director complaining that people shouldn't be used to owning games and wanting to drive up the prices and all this other nonsense.
I thought it was the witchcraft one that you had a problem with or something like that.
That's the one I have a problem with. That's Hexe. That's the one that's coming out after this one. I will not be playing it, but I won't be playing it for my own personal beliefs. I mean, that's my own personal belief. If you want to play it, go ahead. That won't be me. I'm skipping that one. I'm making a conscious decision to skip that one. I had trouble with Valhalla because you did raids on churches. I mean, and that harkens back to actually the first podcast we did because we asked the question, do your personal beliefs affect the games that you play? And in my case, it does. I am not the most devout Christian, but I do believe in God. I do believe in, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And there are certain things that I will not delve into from a gaming perspective strictly because of my personal beliefs. And that is my right as a consumer and a citizen. I'm not obligated to play everything.
I had trouble. I haven't played Mirage yet, even though you don't like it and everything. To be honest with you, when I started watching the trailers for it and everything, I was actually getting kind of hyped for it because it seemed like they were going back to like the Assassin's Creed roots and stuff. So it's going to be pretty interesting when I play it and find out if it's any good or not. And to be honest with you, I think the last Assassin's Creed game I beat was Origins. I mean, I just didn't have the time for what was it, Odyssey and then Valhalla. Because I played pretty much every Assassin's Creed game that I can think of right now, and it's just like I just never had time for them because, like you said, they were pretty long. I'm thinking about if I do play them, I'm just going to play the main missions and just go.
Well, on top of them being big, they were repetitive, and that's a part of the problem. It isn't necessarily that you have a giant game where you do a bunch of different stuff. I could tolerate that. It's a giant game where you do the same thing over and over again. You sail to this spot, you do a raid, you take the loot, you go back, you find another spot, you do the same thing. And it's kind of rinse, lather, repeat. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't played Avatar, the Avatar game, Frontiers of Pandora, because it's Far Cry with blue people. And I've played the last 4 Far Cries from 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I've also played New Dawn. I love the Far Cry games. Have enjoyed all of them. However, the Frontiers of Pandora, if it's just another Far Cry game, it's like, okay, well, I'm just doing the same thing. And the only difference is my character is 10 feet tall and he's blue and he has a tail. It may be something I delve into strictly from an artistic perspective because I hear that the game is beautiful. But, as a person that pays a light bill, I can't just buy every game.
Yeah.
But I will be buying college football. Before we even start on that, I will be buying college football day and date. I don't care if that game is 0 stars out of 5. Buying. EA, take my money.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. Okay, same question for you, Beer Ninja. What was your overall opinion of Showcase?
I may get a lot of flack for this, because there's some people that are on the fence that you got this side and then you got this side, right? I lean more towards this side, which is I think this is really going to help out Xbox. Like, it's really the push and jump that Xbox needed to get going, right? It's like there was a lot of games right there. I shouldn't say a lot of games, but there was quite a lot of good games that are coming out that this is, I can see what people wanting to play. Like the Southern one, I can't remember the name either, but I watched it all the way through. I was like, what's that?
South of Midnight.
South of Midnight. I was like, I was just gonna I was looking at the artwork and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this a chance. I gave Borderlands a chance, because normally back in those days, I was like, oh man, the graphics, I don't know about, but I love them. I love Borderlands. But with this game, I was looking at, I was like, just kind of watching it and play through. I was like, this is amazing, man. I think I could see myself playing this. Somebody had some really creative mind to make this game. Either that or they were really on acid when it came out, but it looked like it was going to be a good one. So I saw that one. I saw a little bit of Perfect Dark and everything, and I think people have been really gunning for this game to work out. Now, I didn't play the 360 version of it, and I heard it was pretty dull and everything, but you know me, I usually try out games anyways just to make my own opinion and whatnot, but this one seems to be very anticipated. And then there was a couple of other games that really struck a chord that I thought was going to be really good. So I was like, yeah, this is what Xbox really needs to be doing. Now, I still feel bad about with a lot of people they laid off and everything like that, but maybe this can get the wheels going, and we can kind of get back to where gaming really needed to be, because I'm now starting to become more of a firm believer with Xbox that they are really working on for the gamers, and making the games. I like Game Pass. I think that it's a wonderful opportunity for especially collectors like me, because some of those games are going to be coming out day one on Game Pass and everything, and I'll get to play it. And if I like it, I'll add it to the collection. That's what I use it for mostly, but I got to say the number one that knocked my socks off. I was at Comic-Con actually when it happened because I knew it was coming up. And I was sitting at the food court and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure I got some people looking over at my table and everything because I was just blown away. And that, my friends, is Gears of War. Not Gears of War End Day. That game is something I have been asking for many, many years. It was, if it wasn't EE Day, it was going to be the Pendulum Wars or something like that. And to be honest with you, nobody saw this coming on Xbox who attended it or watched it or anything. They thought they were going to be getting either a new Gear 6 update, which is, circling around the block, or they were going to have a Marcus Phoenix Master Chief Collection thing going on, which that's what I was kind of hoping for. But when this trailer came out, I started watching it and everything. I was like, wait, what is that? Wait. And I see it. Wait, I was like, that's a Gear. I was like, this ain't Gear 6. And I started looking at the character model, and I was like, looks like a young Marcus Phoenix. And it was. Like, and then when you see the enemy coming out and everything, and this is spoiler alerts too, by the way, if you guys have not seen it, just fast forward through it, okay? But, you see the drone. And when I watched this trailer all the way through, I've seen this trailer literally 10 times. I'm not lying when I say that. I'm probably going to watch it after this podcast too, just for the hell of it. But it was so fun watching it. I just kept going back and looking at it. And then right at the end of that trailer, that's when this was just going to be a beautiful game, because they are going to be exploring the history, the relationship of Marcus and our boy Dom, And so, yeah, I loved the trailer so much that it took me back to the original trilogy, because that's what people really want. The horror, the grittiness, the darkness to it and everything. That was my big takeaway for Xbox Showcase 2024. My hats are off to you. Rumor is that it is going to be coming out on Series X, and it's going to be a day one buy. I mean, I'm going to sell a kidney or something. I'm going to get hopefully a special edition if I can afford it. So day one is definitely mine. I'm looking forward to Gears of War E-Day. My love.
And can I step in with a couple more things?
Sure, man.
And then I'll give it my opinion.
PlayStation, ball's in your court. You have got lots of IPs that need games.
Yeah.
And I've watched a little bit of the Days of Play. It come off kind of weak. I mean, Ghost 2, y'all need to announce that. Ghost of Tsushima 2, y'all need to bring something. Bring something to the table. And also watched some of Ubisoft's press release, which we hadn't really planned on talking about Ubisoft and their showcase, which, by the way, it's like E3 in 3 different days over YouTube instead of an actual physical event. But Ubisoft, Star Wars Outlaws is a day one buy. If y'all haven't watched the gameplay from that and the trailer from that, that is a day one buy. That is going to be a great game if you follow Star Wars lore, and it's coming out this year. Yeah, I don't think we have long before it does come out. I think it's coming out in August. So, for all of our hand wringing about Ubisoft, they're getting like $140 of my money at some point this year between the Assassin's Creed game and Star Wars Outlaws. They've got me there.
Hopefully with the Outlaws gameplay, I haven't watched it yet. Hope it's not one of those things where like they cater a movie trailer, put all the best scenes in the trailer, and then when you go see it's a huge disappointment because everything else doesn't live up to what you've already seen.
There was definitely gameplay. There was definitely gameplay footage and everything. You saw cinematics, gameplay footage. There was a combination of both and everything. And I think, and I'm not trying to say anything about it, but there was some controversy about the game. Like, one of the things I heard was the protagonist wasn't beautiful enough or something like that. Now I'm like, are you serious? Like, that, is that what you're looking for in a game? That's what people are. And then, it just kind of dawned on me, I get people have their own opinions. They're entitled to them and everything. But who's to say it's most likely a bunch of young kids or something like that? I don't care about that kind of stuff. After watching the trailers and the gameplay, actual in-game play footage, I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a hit for them.
Ubisoft should make me hornier.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, thanks, PlayStation, for Stellar Blade. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I haven't got a chance to check out the PlayStation one either, because it came out a couple of days before the Xbox showcase.
Yeah, it was. I think Xbox was the 9th. This PlayStation's thing was like the 6th or 7th.
Or I think it was Thursday, wasn't it? The Thursday before.
Yeah, it was the Thursday before.
And that's the weird thing too, because even on some of the Facebook feeds that I follow, like IGN and stuff, I didn't see a whole bunch of stuff really commenting on PlayStation.
There wasn't a lot to see. There really wasn't. I'll say this. Nintendo, you've got 3. You still got 3. We're still leaving out Nintendo. And you know what Nintendo's going to do? They're going to do what they always do. They're going to come out with some cartoony type game that's going to be lock solid. It's going to be absolutely complete the day it drops. It's going to be $60 for the next 5 years. There's not going to be a problem with it at all. It's going to play perfectly, control perfectly, work perfectly, and they're going to make a ton of money. While Microsoft and Sony are over here just hand-wringing over the next game coming out and closing out studios, Nintendo's just cranking out banger after banger after banger. It's like that place you go for a great cup of coffee. It was great 5 years ago. It'll be great 5 years from now, and it'll be great, 10 years from now. It's just constant, excellent product.
Well, like we're talking about the PlayStation State of Play, there was, if you actually go to the Beers at War Facebook page, a few days ago I posted a little video that somebody made with Terry Crews when he's playing, I think it's Brooklyn Nine-Nine, when he's singing, what's that song? I Would Walk, 1,000 miles or whatever.
The Michelle Branch song. And I miss you. And I need you.
And they're mocking he's basically Xbox versus State of Play, and they show up all the games that Xbox is rolling out with compared to what PlayStation announced. And it's just like that night and day. So my overall opinion, I'm looking I was really excited about it, really getting to see it, because they're bringing back some titles that you knew were in the works, but you didn't know when. Like the big one was Fable. I was a huge Fable back in the 360 days. Loved it. And then they were making one, and then the original developer went under, so they got paused, and I think somebody finally picked it back up to finish it, or they started around, and they showed a trailer for that. And I was really excited for that. So overall, I thought it was actually pretty good. Got to see the new World of Warcraft trailer, even though I don't play PC game anymore. I'll elaborate more on that a little bit on one of the other questions coming down. But no, I thought it was pretty good. There's a lot, like I said, a lot of stuff that you were like that you knew was out there, but you haven't heard any news lately, and they brought it up. I mean, South of Midnight they showed it earlier in what was the other Xbox show earlier in the year they had? We got teased with the South of Midnight with the blues song and the teaser trailer for that, and then we got more of an in-depth story on that one. Looks like
was that on the Game Awards? I think that was a Game Awards, maybe, that one that came out, because they always do the Game Awards in December.
Well, I thought I thought earlier in the year Xbox did like a show. I think we did a podcast about it. If I'm not mistaken, we discussed it.
Bro, I look. I know you talking about what? I don't remember where I live if I'm gone from the house too long. So sorry, but I mean, I do remember seeing the trailer beforehand and like, this looks interesting. It was like a zombie or something playing a guitar. It's like, okay, interesting.
Yeah, and one of the things that I noticed, even coming from Phil Spencer elaborated on it quite a bit, a couple times, especially when they were talking about Call of Duty, and his biggest line was, everybody gets everything at the same time. So PlayStation no longer gets that advantage where these players are so far ahead compared to anybody else because they get it a week early or 2 weeks early or a month early.
Yeah.
So
now, exclusive
Xbox
maps, exclusive skins, guns, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so Xbox leveled the playing field on that too, because what's the point of joining in if you're a month behind? And you got some grinders that the only reason they got a PlayStation is because of the advantage of having this stuff early.
Yeah.
So that was kind of good to see there on that he was going to level the playing field on that.
Let's pour them up, fellas.
So,
what are you drinking, Matilda?
I just got Dr. Pepper because I'm getting ready to go to bed.
Ninja, tell us what you're drinking.
I purchased, let's see, Texas' oldest craft brewery called St. Arnold. It's made in Houston, Texas. Not sponsored by them or anything. It is a very hoppy IPA. I will say that, but it's a pretty good one. So if you are going to drink, please drink responsibly.
And I am drinking, in honor of Pride Month, turn the other way, Taste of Rainbows. It's a fruit-flavored vodka that I got from, where did I get it? CW Spirits. Some of the weirder stuff that you'll see behind the bar. I pick a lot of it up at CW Spirits. We picked a bunch of it up on sale, which we're still working through those booze videos. So, get them up, gentlemen.
One.
Thank you again. If you drink,
may you drink with me.
You should really mix that with something. You really should. Wow.
Fears of War Gaming Podcast.